What do you think of the Jersey fishing industry? Have you seen a decline?
Definitely.
What would you say to a youngster thinking of getting into the fishing industry in Jersey?
I think it'd be really difficult for a youngster. What with cost of living over here and rent and food and all the rest of it, I just don't know how and the cost of the license. I think it'd be very difficult for a youngster to go full time.
Will your children take up fishing?
No.
What do you think of the Jersey fishing industry? Have you seen a decline?
Yes.
What would you say to a youngster thinking of getting into the fishing industry in Jersey?
Buy my boat.
Will your children be taking up fishing?
No.
The value of a catch isn't really following the cost of living and the cost of all the expenses. So for all our bills, red courts bills or fuel bills or freight bills or whatever going up, but what we're actually bringing in is not really worth that much, so the margins are smaller. So you earn less and you're still working just as hard or harder. That's what I think.
And will you continue to fish in Jersey?
I think so, yeah, because it's kind of way of life. But
born and bred fisherman.
yes, but yeah, I don't know.
And your
I'm not
children?
sure if I would encourage it, but well, I would, because it's a nice way. Yeah, it's a nice lifestyle. But
And will you teach your children
yeah, probably.
the trade?
Well, yeah, I will.
Because you're a second generation fisherman,
Yeah.
so they'll be the third generation coming up now. Take over.
Brexit finished fishing because, well, for a lot of fishermen over there, because although they fish side by side, the fishing, the French can directly land into France, whereas Jersey fishermen have to go through a vet, and instead of landing in Carteret, they now have to go to St Malo to land their catch, it's not worth it. Yeah.
And what would you say to the younger generation thinking of going into fishing now in Jersey?
There's nothing really left to it.
If the octopus, were to come to Jersey and start going through all of our pots and really damaging our stocks, I think that could have a terrible effect for us. I have definitely seen a decline in the Jersey fishing industry. Lots of boats are up for sale or have been sold. I don't think we're finished, but I think that we're on a bit of a knife edge at the minute.
And what would you say to youngsters thinking of coming into the Jersey fishing industry?
I would say do it. I would say there are still boats out there screaming for crew. Crewing is the best way to start. You sort of dip your toe in the water. There's no financial outgoings. You work for someone. Generally is on a self-employed basis, or boats now are sort of becoming small companies and can employ you. Do it. There's nothing to be lost by having a go. You might love it and you could be the next generation of fishermen that I think we're going to need.
What do you think is the biggest problem facing the fishing community currently?
I think it's probably a mix of regulation and the logistics of being on an island. It kind of pushes everybody into fishing for lobsters because it's so hard to export other shellfish. If we could direct land things like scallops into Carteret, that would be a massive boost for divers. And yeah, it feels like we're being squeezed from all angles into only fishing lobsters, and that's not great for the lobster stock.
Do you think there's been a decline in lobsters?
There has. The question is it on a cycle? Is it going to potentially come back? I mean, lots of the older guys have been through this before and then had good years again, so that remains to be seen.
So you're optimistic and hoping for the best. What do you think of Jersey's fishing industry? Have you seen a decline?
Over the last few years, there's been a great decline in the amount of fish and lobster being caught.
What would you say to a youngster thinking of getting into the fishing industry in Jersey?
I would say seriously consider it, because you have to know if you can actually make an income from it.
Will your children take up fishing?
No, they've spent several years on the boat but won't be following it as a career path.
I hope that the Jersey fishing community can exist in 5 to 10 years because we are Jersey's legacy, and part of our ethos is trying to fish without raping the ocean beds of important eco and biodiversity that generations before us loved to enjoy in balance. As for regulations, Jersey's fishermen should not have to be penalised financially for regulations imposed by the Brexit saga that Jersey did not even have the right to vote in. The French fishermen sell their catch without being imposed with wet checks. They are the same fish in the same waters being caught. There isn't a wall in the ocean dividing us. It's all the same ocean. Between 2010 and 2020, Jersey had a drop of total shellfish landed was to 884 tonnes, down 48% on 2019. The wet fish totals for 2017 to 2020 were the 4 lowest for over 20 years. It will be too late once the super trawlers have depleted the oceans to bring back the local small fishing boats.